Hi friends, welcome to Rooftop Pilates. This series here is going to cover all 34 exercises that are in the Return to Life book by Joe Pilates. So these are the Contrology exercises. These are all the exercises that we use for our warm-up. And if you have any difficulty with any of these exercises, please check out the Fundamentals series. The Fundamentals exercises on my website. Also the Basic 5 and the Basic 10, which are exercises that I have provided for free on the website as well as YouTube. Let's begin on our back, pulling those knees in and rocking side to side. As your knees go left, look right, and as your knees go right, look left. This is a great gentle way to start opening up the back. So not in the sequence exactly, but I just thought I'd throw this in here for a warm-up. We're going to just start with the shoulder bridge. So laying on your back still with those hands pressed into the floor, inhale to lift the hips. And then on the exhale, you're going to sequence through the spine, vertebra by vertebra. As you lift up, as you press into your hands and feet, energetically pull your heels towards you. So it's almost like you're trying to drag your mat underneath you or pull the mat under you. What this does is it connects you to your seat more and it allows you to open up through the front of the hip a bit more. You're trying to place your weight equally in your shoulders and your feet. And now we're going to pulse. Inhale to lower the hip, exhale to lift the hips. And as you do this, some of you might have a habit of popping the ribs. I know I sure do. So try and keep your ribs pulled down, lower than the hips as you lift and lower in those pulses. Anyway, I cover that in the foundational exercises, so check that out if you have a chance. All right, we're going to go right into our hundreds now. So you're going to curl your head and shoulders off the floor. You're going to lift those legs off the floor and keep them as low as possible. And then we're going to pump. You're inhaling for 5 seconds and exhaling for 5 seconds. Now, as you do that, you are really trying to get as much air as possible. And you're doing that so that you can suspend yourself in this position, so that you can stabilize the body and contract the abdominals as forcefully as possible. You're also getting blood flow and circulation and oxygenation through the body. Here in this shot, you can see how the arms are pumping, but my body is relatively still. So there's no jerkiness. If you find you can't do the arms without jerking the body, just keep the arms stable or at your side. Just keep them still at your side. We're doing this in a round of 10. So you do a cycle of 10, inhaling for 5 seconds, exhaling for 5 seconds. And if at any point you feel your lower back, just raise the legs higher or bend your knees in, and still you can do the pumping. All right, we're going to move on to roll up. So we're rolling up, and we're doing this in a sequence through the spine. So you're not trying to go fast. You're only going as fast as you can control the sequencing through the spine. And ideally, you're limiting how much shifting back and forth you're doing with the legs. Now, just keep in mind that the bigger your butt, the bigger your glutes are, the more likely your legs will shift back and forth. Also, the weaker your abdominals, the more shifting there will be. But the point is that you want to limit how much shifting the legs are doing. So as you roll back, try and reach the heels out of the pelvis. And as you roll up, try and reach the heels out of the pelvis, or the legs, you could say the legs. So the breathing is inhaling, exhale where you find it most challenging. And then use your hands if you're having trouble sequencing through the spine. And this tells your nervous system that you do and that you can sequence. You will eventually be able to do this with a little bit more ease. And let's move into the next exercise, rollover. So for rollover, you're pressing those arms back so hard that you are able to transfer the weight off the hips and onto the shoulders. We're going to squeeze the heels together and lift over on the inhale. And then on the exhale, split your heels apart and roll down through the spine, again sequencing, and only pull your legs as far down as you can stabilize with your stomach. So only lower your legs here in this phase here as low as you can keep your ribs pulled in your arms back. So when your head lifts up, when your shoulders curl forward, it means you've gone too far with the legs. You don't have the strength to go that low. And then bring it all the way down, and we're going to move into the next exercise, the one-leg circle. So with those hands pressed just as hard as in the previous exercise, with those ribs pulled in, you're going to circle the leg 5 times. Try and do it using your butt. So try and contract the glutes as you circle the leg, because that is where your power comes from. It also releases the front of the hip a bit more, so you're not so tight in your quads as you circle the legs. At the same time, that bottom leg is energetically pulling into center. So it's almost like both legs are always and constantly squeezing together. Remember to keep your arms back. So can you feel your triceps here? Can you pull your ribs down to the floor? Your back should be flat against the mat. And then let's roll up for spine stretch for rolling like a ball. So for rolling like a ball, you're going to try and pick those hips up. Breathe whenever you can. Try and keep your spine really long, or your head buoyant on top of your spine. Some people tend to drop their head, so try not to drop your head. And then try and pick the hips up. You're trying to pick the hips overhead, and I promise that lifting the hips over will bring you forward. Breathe whenever you can and try and control this momentum as you roll into single leg pull or one leg pull. You're pulling the knee towards the chest while keeping the shoulders up. And you're using the connection to your seat. So you're using that pull and that connection to the leg to create opposition. In double leg pull, you're reaching the arms away from center. You're reaching the legs away from center and holding it without falling back. Inhale and then exhale. Hold it here for 3 seconds and then circle the arms to the legs. Hold and reach and circle. And then single straight leg pull. There's the transition. You're stretching the back of the leg as you reach the leg out of your center and out of your hip. You're constantly reaching. So whatever you do, try and just stretch yourself like a rubber band. The longer you can make your body, the more you'll get out of each exercise. All right, and then we're going to interlace our hands behind our head, inhaling to lower the legs, exhaling to pick them up. And here you are wringing out your stomach. You're trying to squeeze all the air out to pick the legs up. You're using this deep and forceful breath to activate the core, the stomach. You're squeezing your seat as you lower the legs so that you can get them down. And then here, finally, we're twisting. This is our last of the gut busters here. Elbow to knee as you twist. Inhale, exhale. Wringing out the stomach here for real as you twist and twist and twist. Try and keep that center. Try and keep yourself from jostling around the mat. You're curling forward as you twist. And stay with me here. And then coming down for a rest here, pulling the knees into your chest and just giving yourself a quick little rock side to side. Once again, if you have any